Sorry, what was I supposed to say again?
Just hi, then your name and where you're going. That's about it. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Ben Yeaman, and I'm a new recruit with Ontario Provincial Police, and I'm headed over to Huron County.
Hello, I'm Taranjeet Singh. I'm a new recruit with Ontario Provincial Police, and I'm headed to Kawartha Lake Detachment.
My name is Adriana McGuinness, and I'm a new recruit with the Ontario Provincial Police, and I'm headed to the Pickle Lake Detachment.
I grew up with a dad who was an engineer in Oro-Medonte, and originally I wanted to follow in his path. But in my early teenage years, I took a career aptitude test that came up with policing very high on that list.
I came in Canada in 2018 from India on my own. It was a big change for me. My grandfather was Indian Army officer, so I always wanted to be a uniformed officer since childhood.
Growing up in Elmville, being a small community, being involved in the community is something that I have always done. My parents both were very involved in the community as well, so I'm looking forward to making a difference in any community that I work in.
I picked my university program with something I knew I'd enjoy, what was going to the University of Guelph for criminal justice and public policy. During my 4 years there, I started doing volunteer work with elderly people by chatting with them on the phone a couple times a week to keeping them entertained and have someone to talk to when they might have been alone through COVID.
I volunteered with Seva Food Bank, which is in Mississauga. Also, I come from a Sikh religion, and for me, Sikhism stands for selfless service. And I believe that those values align with OPP values.
I was just finished up school for physiotherapy assistant, and I was looking to get into that physiotherapy assistant career. Joining the police wasn't something that I had thought about too much, but I was interested to do a ride along, so I went along on one and I absolutely fell in love with the career, which then had me joining the OPP Auxiliary, working as an auxiliary constable for a little bit of time before applying to the provincial constable position.
The training here at Ontario Police College has been difficult at times and very enjoyable at others. They've taught us a lot of things, from the academics of provincial law to federal law to the Highway Traffic Act, to a lot of practical skills we'd need on the road.
I've been out of school for a few years now, so it was a little bit tough at first to get back into things, but being from a physical background, I really enjoyed all the physical aspects.
Whatever we learned theoretically, we are implementing those skills like practically in scenarios.
There's been plenty of highs in my time here through scenario trainings when you've done well and received praise. But then there's been other times where you're so run down and beat down and maybe the last test didn't go as well as you wanted to.
The initial days when it felt like we were overwhelmed with the knowledge and everything.
But they've done a really good job on facilitating a very good learning environment and helping everyone get through all of the training.
That didn't even happen. New scenario, okay? I want you to erase that out of your mind. One more deep breath.
PPA is a provincial police academy, and that's the academy hosted by the Ontario Provincial Police here in Orillia.
It was really great to work on my personal goals and work as a team with my fellow OPP recruits and work on our fitness goals.
Every instructor over here is approachable. Everything we learned in OPC, we are doing over here in a practical manner. Those scenarios are my favorite part. Other than that, like morning PT session, just waking up kind of sucks. But other than that, overall, it's been a good journey for me.
All of our training at OPC and at PPA has been approximately probably 4.5 to 5 months.
I'm really looking forward to just starting out to getting maybe some courses like ATV, bicycle, boat courses, and I look forward to seeing what opportunities the OPP has for me to continue to grow my career.
I'm really looking forward to putting all of the skills I've learned to use and getting into a real-world environment where I'm able to apply the skills I've learned and help my community and try and make a difference.
For the future recruits, so whoever is thinking to be a police officer, I only have one suggestion: get after it.
I stand before you representing the almost 9,000 members of the Ontario Provincial Police and the citizens of the province that each and every one of you have been entrusted to serve and to protect. As you leave, I want you to reflect on the sign that you walked past so many days. And that sign is the picture of the Provincial Constable badge. And that sign says, always earned, never given. It is an opportunity that you have earned, and I am proud of each and every one of you. Be safe, be well, look after yourselves, look after each other, make wedge.
Day one coming into the detachment was surreal almost. It was non-stop. I showed up and then right away, within 5 minutes, we had to go respond to a call. And then we finished that call and we went to another call right after that. And my coach officer was apologizing actually, being like, oh, I meant to go through a lot of this stuff beforehand, but sometimes this is how policing goes. And that's what she explained to me, that you can't make plans because you never know what your day is going to hold. And that's what my first day was. It was long and chaotic.
So I showed up at work an hour before my shift at 5 a.m. so that I'll be ready, and I had my shiny boots as we were told during our training. I met my sergeant, my other platoon mates. They have been really supportive so far, especially my coach officer who has guided me through everything. And then we hit the road, and I remember that when we conducted the first traffic stop, like coming from training environment and working on the road was a drastic change for me. Initially, I was nervous, but my training from OPC and PPA kicked in. Everything went smooth, and I had my coach officer with me who was there to guide me. Yeah, it was good.
Pickle Lake's a pretty small town. There's just over 300 people in population. It's a mostly Indigenous town. My first shift was probably a little bit different than the rest of my classmates. I got to my shift about an hour early, 5 o'clock. When I got here, the detachment was a ghost town. There was nobody to be seen. Pickle Lake isn't a 24-hour detachment, so we are closed for 2 hours in the morning. So I sat there from about 5 till 5:30. Started to get a little worried because none of my coworkers were there yet. Thought maybe I had the wrong time. Pickle Lake's in a weird, unique time zone, but we don't do daylight savings time. So 5 or 10 minutes later, the rest of my platoon showed up, and I was able to get my feet under me before we headed out to my first call, which was a couple hours later, and I was able to make my first arrest at that call. And the rest of the day, we had time to sit down with my coach officer, work on the paperwork that was involved with the call we had gone to, and that was pretty much my first day.
The most challenging aspect for me has been making sure everything is meticulously done.
You might think to yourself, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna sit down and do paperwork all day long. You don't get to make that choice. You might be going call to call the next day, so it's really important to stay on top of your task list.
Because every day I hold people's lives in my hands through sending them to court, sending them to jail.
Arrest reports, making crown briefs. Sometimes it becomes hectic, but you learn a lot.
One major thing I've learned is that it's really important to work as a team, whether it be within the detachment, with the other emergency services in the town.
Every day I need to make sure I've completed everything perfectly, because it can make a big difference in the community if you do it right.
I personally moved from GTA to countryside. So adapting a new environment, knowing the people, knowing the area, these are a few challenges which I've faced. But with the guidance of my coach officer, I feel confident now. Like it's getting better, I would say, day by day.
The best part about policing, in my mind, has been my ability to get involved with youth.
Oftentimes children aren't able to advocate for themselves, so it's really important for the police to kind of act as an advocate for them and just help keep them safe in the community.
Of my first day on my own, I got an impaired arrest, and I felt like I did something for public safety when I got that driver off the road.
I've arrested an abuser in a domestic relationship where the victim reached out for help, and I was the one who was able to step in and help her. And those are some of the things where I feel I've made a proper difference in the community, where I've actually helped people become their better self by getting separated from abusers and away from situations where they
might not be able to without the help of myself and the other officers here in Huron County.
I would say to anyone thinking of joining the OPP, just do it. Whether it be a civilian job within the OPP or a provincial constable job, there's so many different opportunities within the OPP, and it's pretty unique that you can literally work anywhere in the entire province throughout your career.